How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Farmmi, which ended up having a green day but saw a lot of strength inside of the pre-market. Many of you were telling me saying I was able to protect my profits when it made that strong pop to around 49 cents. Because again, I was talking about the best time to load in this play is either at 30 cents or even was at 29, 28. We saw these levels. So if you were able to accumulate, you definitely had the opportunity to make some money. But I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels. We want to know what it looks like on a bullish case scenario and as well as in a bearish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. Does this play still continue to have short squeeze potential? What is the overall market sentiment for this stock? This is key because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. What was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like for Farmmi on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side? This is key to know so we have a good idea of demand. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Farmmi. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 36 cents, being up 1.69%. On the low, it tested 35 cents, and then on the high, testing 44 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 329.563 million shares, and for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 142.14 million shares. So right away, when we get this kind of above average volume coming through Farmmi, of course we can look forward to seeing a move, especially going past the 40-cent level where I was talking about that was an area of resistance. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 54.07, so almost right there in the middle. And then when we take a look at our chart and in regards to the moving averages, we have strength above all of them except the 100-day and as well as the 200-day. So where we close at 36 cents, this is not bad whatsoever. We saw some gains and that's what we need to appreciate here. So if Farmmi does decide to pull back going into the open for tomorrow, then of course I'm going to want to see some strength at the 34-cent level, most preferably, which is going to be at the 50-day. So if we can hold down this 34-cent level going into the open and the market looks strong, then I'm going to be looking forward for us to actually make that test again, getting above 40 cents and most particularly getting past that 44-cent level, as you guys can see right here. If we're able to get past this 44-cent level, then of course I'm going to be looking for a strong move up to seeing where we can get to the 50-cent range, and then also we'll have a little bit of resistance here at 52 cents. But of course, this is reliant on the volume. If we get the same amount of volume like we got today, this is very achievable. If we don't end up getting it, then of course, as far as an entry is concerned, I like Farmmi when it's in the low 30-cent range. So when you end up getting that pop, you can make some pretty decent profits, especially if you're going to be trading in and out of this play. If you are holding, again, I still see it as, you know what, you want to get in at 30 cents, 31, 29, 28, and so forth. You can't go wrong with those kind of entries in my opinion. And of course, this is not financial advice. So let's see how Farmmi performs going into tomorrow, but I'm looking forward to seeing that retest getting past that 40-cent level again. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Farmmi. So we can see for the dark pool short volume ratio, it's at 49.12%. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 73 million shares. As we scroll down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 9.4 million. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 6.75%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of October the 25th, it was at 46.68, and then for the close of the 26th, which was yesterday, being at 49.12. 2. So what this tells us right away, shorts have increased their position and Farmmi does have short squeeze potential. So this is why when we have a lot of buying volume coming into the stock, we can see some very strong moves and upside like we saw inside of the pre-market and so on. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Farmmi. So we can see here on the inflow, it was 26.65, and then on the outflow, it was 30.58. When we take a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 5.67, and then on the medium, it was 15.37, and then on the small, it was 5.61. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 6.11, then on the medium, it was 18.37, and then on the small, it was 6.10. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, October the 27th, it being negative at 435.81. So one thing that is very clear, what we could see on the small side, there was a lot more selling on the retail side. So we did have some inflows coming into the stock, but again, that's something you want to take notice of. Many were taking profits. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, again, even more outflows. And then when we take a look at what happened on the large, we had more outflows as well. But keep in mind, not a big difference whatsoever. We still ended up having an outflow day, but there is still demand for shares. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, this is very key to know because we want to know how liquid this stock is there a lot of day traders in it, and so forth. So when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it's at 117.71%. So again, this is a day trader's paradise. So people are going in and out, so there's going to be a lot of fluctuations and volatility in this play, and this is why I talk about maximizing your entries and not buying in at the highs. So let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Farmmi, I must say it definitely had a nice bounce in the early sessions of the pre-market, and congratulations to those that were able to take some profits during this time. This is why I say whatever broker that you're using, you want to make sure you have full access for outside hour trading. So that's for the pre-market and as well as after hours. I have the ability to take advantage of this opportunity, and I suggest you should do the same. So make sure you're with a broker that helps you do that, especially when it comes to volatile plays like these. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. So we can look forward to seeing further spikes inside of the stock. And then when we took a look at the order flow distribution, yes, we did have a lot of selling. Many were taking profits, but one thing to keep in mind, there was still demand for shares. So the key thing is you want to keep an eye on that volume, because if it is continuing to look bullish, then of course that's when we see there's going to be a lot of buying pressure, and I really do want to see Farmmi get above the 50-cent level. We can see that is a clear area of resistance, so keep that in mind if you're going to be inside of this play. And like I said, when it comes to entries, I like it at 30 cents, around 29, 28, or even 31, but this is not financial advice, but I feel as far as this entry is concerned, it's better than buying at 37 or even at 40, unless the proper setup does show itself when you're using your indicators and so forth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.